So this is just a quick video to go over the documentation procedures that you'll need to complete for JISC, and hopefully this makes sense somewhat. What I'd like to state right from the beginning is that the whole point of the documentation is to help you create a community conversation so that you can not only get your product reused from your product, but also learn how you might benefit from the community and sharing things with them and also sharing their things. So that's really the primary goal of the documentation. Of course, there is the fact that JISC needs to track the project and the grant it's given you, so this is a grant obligation, but ideally you're using the documentation to create that conversation. So first off is, of course, the bid over here, and that's, well, congratulations, you've won, obviously. And then the second bid should be the tag. I think I've talked to most of you about that. And, of course, the whole point of the bid getting turned into the project plan on your blog is the fact that things will have changed a long time as we've gone on, and so I'm sure your ideas from the bid have changed, and so you need to focus your mind and think about how you're going to readjust your bid into a plan so that it actually can be told to the community, and so that it's simpler and that it's just easier to read and using the right language for that kind of community conversation you want to create. But of course, it's just mostly a copy and paste job, and then there's instructions on how to break your plan up into the first 7 posts on your blog. Moving on, as we move along time here, is the fact that, of course, we want to keep track. And so number 3 is, of course, doing your project progress work. So basically, it's just using your blog to post your ideas so that when you have team conversations and you have a good idea, getting something up in your blog quickly. If the developer's got an idea and they've come up with a cool bit of code, or maybe they've found a major bug and want to warn other people about it, that's great as well. When you talk to your users and get pictures of them and what they're doing in your content, tell us about those moments. And of course, then announce when you talk about the thing on your blog. Use your blog to disseminate your project, and of course, more towards the community conversation. So that's really actually the bulk of what the documentation about there is, the step 1. The rest is kind of more the administration stuff, but of course it comes more towards the end of the project. But again, we'd still ideally like it to be feeding back to the community and having an open and transparent conversation with them. So number 4 is what we call the final product post, and this is the Argos-like catalog entry for what the thing is that you produced, your tangible product, so to speak, whether that's a report or an app or a bit of software or guidance, something like that, that actually can be reused by someone else in the community, and you tell them about it very clearly. Of course, we take the product plan and we bring it back to our committee, a group of your peers who will look over it, and the real question they're asking is reuse. They're asking the question, how might this thing be reused by other people in the community? And of course, we often do try to look for additional funding from these posts that the committee can recommend, where we might encourage the project to have another couple of months of funding to go to the community and maybe share their product with 1 or 2 other institutions to see about its reuse and viability. Of course, the final bit, and this is an absolute must, is the fact that we need your spend budget. We need to know what you spent the money on, and of course there's a template for that. But again, we believe that the budget should be published. Of course, you shouldn't include your data protection information, so no personal names, but job titles and the general information on how you spent your budget is a great way to show to the community that you're obviously being open about the conversation and how you spent your money. And then finally is what we call the final sign-off survey, so you and your team able to get together and fill out the survey with one another. This is your opportunity to talk about what we call the intangible products from the project, so the skills you might have gained, the processes you might have changed in the institution, or just other little bits of valuable information that you learned over the course of your project. And we're just as equally interested about the actual tangible products as we are about the intangible products, so make sure that this final bit of effort of you getting together with the team and reflecting over the entire period is a real essential bit. And then, of course, finally is that you'll have to get sign-off from your program manager, and you'll have been given a list of the things that the program manager had to collect from you over the course of the project, mostly all of this documentation, and being able to tick that all off. So that'll, of course, result in your final completion certificate that JISC will award you at the end of your project, thereby signifying the obligations of your grant being fulfilled. And of course, we wish you good luck. And I myself, as a program manager, have always wanted to keep track of my projects into the future, and I'm always glad to see when the blog is continued to be used beyond the life of the project to help further the product and the project team on the whole. So that's basically an overview of kind of what we expect. So good luck.